Hi, my name is Valerie Johnson-Philson, and the artifact that I'm going to talk about is a map. We often hear people talk about the roadmap to heaven, but I'm going to talk about a map, the road map to get us wherever we got to go, whether it's heaven or wherever we're trying to get to before we get to heaven. I learned that an artifact can be an object, a thing, reality, or it can shape culture or be formed by culture. Because the world is so big and has so many destinations, one must assume that there is a need to use a map to go from one part of the world to the next. It is believed that the world is one big picture. In this picture, we will see different parts of the world to include the waters, land, trees, landmarks, and more. Maps are not only a useful tool for traveling cross country, but for moving locally when we need to get somewhere and we're not sure quite where it is. According to research, there was a Greek scientist whose name I cannot pronounce that actually implemented the first map, and the Eratosthenes drew the map out. Someone must be trying to figure out how to get somewhere for a map to even be implemented. We should be able to use a map to make our travels as easy as possible. It will be easy to implement different types of plans, for some for cities, some for countries, some for states, some for interstates, and some for whatever we need it to be. We will assume that a map is a paper full of symbols that will lead a person to the correct destination or whereabouts in which they are trying to go. In following maps, it will be a person's travel, or it will make a person's travel much more comfortable to know that they can actually look or read a map to see how to get where they need to be. A person can develop a plan, and the landmarks on the map can get them to their destination with minimum issues, unlike the GPS that may take us to the wrong way at any time. Diagrams also make it possible to see how the rivers fit in between the cities, states, and the different countries. In the Bible, we can see where events take place, and some of the maps will allow illustrations in some of the scriptures that we read. So when we look in the Bible, we do see maps and pictures of things of that nature that shows us different pictures and of the things that are happening in that culture or during that culture, and make it easier for us to understand what we're reading about. And the same thing is with a map. It makes it easier for us to understand how to get from A to B. But that's on the positive side. The negative side is we may not be able to read a map. Like me, I'm not able to read a map. I can see the map, but I can't. I can read it. Actually, I misspoke. I believe we can't follow a map. Some people can't follow maps, and I'm not able to follow a map. Is what I was trying to say. So if we can follow a map, then we're pretty good. But it is impossible to follow a map if you're going over to another country and you're trying to drive, and the reason being because at some point it's going to turn into water. So even though you're looking at a map, you're still not able to get up over the water. So you can follow the map all the way until you get to the point where there's no return, or where you cannot cross over because of the water. There you have to pick up a compass or something that's another mode of transportation to make it across the water. Because the map was created, other inventions such as the atlas and the compass and the GPS are now in existence. And the thing is, we can use any of those, and they show us, how to get, or tell us, some of them even speak to us to tell us how to get to where we need to go. And as we continue to move forward, our culture will continue to find ways that will guide us to where we need to be in a quicker manner, or we'll update the devices that we currently use to make our journeys quicker, to allow us to know exactly where traffic is. And actually some maps do, the GPS maps let you know where the police are, they let you know where traffic is, they let you know where the accidents are. But if you're just reading a map, you won't see that. But the map will get you wherever you need, and it's important to have a map, for everybody to have a map, because at some point in life we're going to need to know how to read a map. We're going to need to know how to follow a map. We're going to need to know how to use a GPS. We're going to need to know how to use a compass and different things of those natures in order to make it from one point in our life to the next. Even if that GPS, even if that map, even if that compass is our Bible, we need that tool. We're going to have to pick it up and use it, as that's our roadmap for the day. God bless.